Hey everyone, it's me, Cosmic Ray, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm talking about, well, you might be wondering, hey, Cosmic, quick question for you. Podcast? What? College? What? And to that answer, I would just like to go ahead and say that, I I don't really have a particular thing that this channel is specifically about. Like, I like to be inclusive with the type of content I make and sometimes just relatable. Um, I'm not sending any hate to other VTubers because I look up to a lot of other ones. That's why I wanted to originally start VTubing to begin with. Like these people really inspired me. So just so we can have a real talk, I'm gonna go ahead and just close um this so we can just have a face-to-face talk. Let me face my hand here. Uh, okay. So what I mean when I say that is behind the avatar, I mean, there's a real person here. Someone who wants to succeed in life and has a lot of goals and ambitions other than just YouTube. And while I do love YouTube, I really do. It's been so much fun to sit here and try to make content and build up a platform like all the other people that I've really looked up to, like Gura and Markiplier and so many others that are just amazing content creators. But also, I wanted to focus on my future as when you get to the point in life where you gotta make a choice. At the end of high school, there's two roads you can go down, as my father put it. You can go get a full-time job and, you know, work 40 hours a week and work towards your house or whatever. Or your other option, you can work and go to college and you could try to get a good degree to better yourself and still get a house and everything. A thing you guys need to know about me is I'm a person with big ambitions and big dreams. So when I want something, I try to work hard for it. And after thinking of what degree I wanted to go to, I had decided that I wanted to go to college for medical billing and coding. Um, because it has great health insurance and sorry, great health insurance and high pay, and that's something that I couldn't really pass up. Now, going to college and working at the same time is not an easy ball game. I'm currently taking five to four classes. One is a prerequisite for English that I had to take just in the first semester. And let me tell you, it is quite the ballpark to even get into it and get your classes started. And that's why I kind of made this podcast, because I feel like if I can pass down what knowledge I know, then maybe it'll help someone else who's thinking about going to college or maybe doing the same thing that I am doing or something similar. Because we have all things that we want to be in life or goals that we want to achieve. And sometimes if you can have someone relatable talking about it, then it can really help you like maybe connect with that person or help someone else out just a little bit because like the applying process is practically the same for the school I'm going. Of course, I won't be telling the name because I don't want to give away my location, but I will be saying that is a community college, which I would recommend for if you're going for this degree, go for the community college because I was looking around and while yes, other ones are, like high-tech universities or whatever, they're very expensive with a lot of fluff classes that you don't really need, and it's a way to easily get yourself in debt. This is just a person talking who only works like really part-time. I do not have a full-time job at the moment as I need to focus on studies while still having enough to provide for college. So as you can see, I'm trying to pay for it as I go. So I do have a little bit of experience in the ball game, but not a lot. But that's why I made this podcast to tell you guys about mistakes that I've Alrighty, man, I'm host and some that you might want to know how to get around some things. Like to balance work in your school and through the tough times and the good times. Because trust me, there were so many times already that I was so tempted to just say, screw it, I don't care, I'll get a full-time job. But I'm glad I stuck with it because now I'm in, and I mean, if you push through it, there's so many things that you could do and become. And I don't know. I'm just a person with high ambition and I work towards my goals. And if I can inspire someone else to do so, then why not, I suppose. I'll also be talking about some like life stuff as well because I want to be that relatable person. I don't want to just sit there and have like a fake persona because that's not me. That's not who I am. It's not who this channel is. I'm not some fake cosmic wonder from the stars. Even though I kind of based my character off of a battle OC of mine. Um, I'm just a regular person who's just trying to make it in life and share some experience that they can, or a laugh here and there, or whatever. So that's mainly what this podcast is about. And I'm gonna go ahead and start talking a little bit about some of my experiences I've already had when you go to apply. So, heads up, research. I cannot stress this enough. When you pick your college, research ones around. Especially, I'm going to be specifically talking about medical coding and billing, as this is what I'm going for. You need to really be careful where you go. Yes, there's some online places, but you really need to watch it because um there's a lot of scams out there, and if it's not approved, then you can get a useless degree and you won't really be able to do anything with it. Um, so I would really suggest making sure you're going to like a community college or a university. For me personally, with my financial situation, I wanted to do the community college because I knew that's something that I could afford or at least work to afford by like scraping pennies a little bit, yes, but it would work. It's going to work. Sometimes it's a little easier to scrape the barrel than get yourself in millions of dollars in debt. Because I'm gonna be real here. I was thinking university, but that's way, way out of my price range. But also, it's the same degree that I need. Why pay more when you could pay less? Second of all, when I did the application for my college, I had to jump through quite a few hoops just to get started. So when you get started on the website, you're going to have to make an account, and after you make your account, you're going to have to, warning, make like four different passwords and save codes. They're going to want you to do SMS per text, so be sure that you have a number that can be sent text messages because my school, you have to do verification by text and email or one or the other just to make sure it's you. Um, Another thing that I would recommend is make sure you have plenty of time when you're setting up everything because it takes hours just to get started and it is quite a few week process just to get in classes, registered, and save spots. So I'm going in for my semester, I think, yeah, 2023 fall semester. But to get in classes, like my English class prerequisite, it only had 9 seats. So you had to really get in there quickly to be able to secure your spot. Um, After you go in, it's going to ask you to fill out paperwork and information, and then you're going to be brought to a welcome to whatever college you go to list, is what I did. And I'm going to tell you now, the college list is extremely confusing. They do not tell you a lot of the information you need. So you're going to be playing a kind of guessing game a little bit. Well, what I had to do in mine. But the main gist is you want to, I was going to say set up your financial aid account. So, you go to the FSSA or whatever it is for you, and you're going to set up your account, put in your credentials. Warning, now I had this happen to me and I had no idea. So I'm still trying to get mine to email me back because they're checking my credentials. But when you fill out your application for that, you have to do it in one setting or it will not save. And then another thing you have to worry about is you need to make sure, and I cannot stress this enough, if it crashes, you have to go back. You've got to make sure everything is 100% done and submitted, or they will not take your application. Before you can even go to select your classes, then you have to watch a seminar and then make sure that you have your transcripts. I cannot stress the fact that you need your transcripts. There'll a button that'll allow you to do it, but you have to have your school send it in. It'll make it look like you sent it in, but you have to get your actual school to send in your transcripts. Because I tried to do first advising before that because I thought I had already sent in my transcripts. So I called and they're like, oh, hey, well, you haven't done this orientation and you haven't sent in your transcripts. Therefore, we cannot do your first advising and you cannot sign up for classes. And I was like banging my head against the wall because it took 2 days for them to call. So I went in and asked my teachers to send in my transcripts, which thankfully I have some really great teachers and they were able to get those in for me, which is great. However, it took a couple days for those to even process, like 2 or 3 days. So it's going to be a waiting game. After you do that, my school allows you to either go to the campus or call. I did the call version just because I had work later that day and I couldn't really miss it. So we had our first advising session, and depending on what degree you're going for, like me, medical coding and billing, um, they recommend like a better option, or they'll be careful because sometimes they will just recommend ones that are more expensive. Because I mean, come on, it's a college, they want to make money. But some do have a point, and I was recommended a couple extra classes that would benefit me a lot more because I was going to do a certificate, but I decided to go with the degree as of I didn't realize that you could do inpatient, outpatient, and hospital in there. I think it was just like outpatient or something with the one I was originally going for. So a little bit more school time, but a lot more options, which is great because the ability to work from anywhere, any office, not only does it make you seem like a jack in the box of all trades, but I mean, it opens up more availability as you don't really know what's going to be open at the time when it's time to apply for jobs. So that definitely comes in handy that you could do any type of coding or billing that you would specifically need to deal with at the time. Another thing is after the advising, I was able to go pick my classes. Now, this is where you're going to need a pen and a paper because when you look down, it's going to tell you programs and what classes you need to take. But when you go to select it, it's not going to have just that degree or diploma show up and you can select all those classes. So what I had to do was take a pen and paper and write down like OCT 141, OCT 021, English 11. But the thing that kind of annoyed me a little bit, and I want you to be aware of this, some colleges might tell you you need a prerequisite before, but for me, as I was directly applying for those classes, it didn't put you need this prerequisite. So be sure to check and don't be surprised if it says that. So if you need a prerequisite or two, like what I'm doing is I can't I might cut out. I can't take my English 11 without the prerequisite. Well, 111. So what I'm doing is I'm scheduled for that prerequisite along with my other classes, and then next semester I can pick that one up along with the others. Which I'm not surprised, like medical billing and coding, you do need to know like really good grammar, so it's not a surprise that they would have English, and same with next semester along with the billing portions. I can guarantee there'll be some math involved, but not a whole lot. Now my experience right now for these classes are majority of them are online, which is quite nice. However, with that means that some have classes and some actually don't. Your college may do this if you have online classes, which is quite nice because it opens the flexibility, but I would still recommend trying to do your things kind of early in the morning if you're able to. That's what I'm gonna do. Just because I work in afternoons or mornings sometimes, which is great for my schedule. It'll give me open availability, which I'll be talking about as well. When I get to more of the financial situation and how much these are. Currently, I know I have 5 classes, which you probably will have if you're going for the diploma. If you're going for the certificate, you'll only have to take 2 and maybe 1 prerequisite that semester. But if you're like me and you're going for the diploma from the school that I'm going to, you will have about 4 or 5 classes your first semester. Thankfully, I have the blessing of being home while in school, but not everybody has that option, so I can't really budget in the extra expenses of not being able to live at home, like dorm or stuff. But once I get the pricing, I'll try to give like a kind of estimate of how much, like with financial aid and things like that, that the college might be in a later video, as we're still working on that hurdle. But that's my current experience so far with some things. You also got to go buy your books. I believe there are like 3 books for medical billing and coding that you need is like a CP10, and I know you for a fact you're gonna need to get the insurance, but I don't remember what the third one is. But I will let you guys know once I'm able to go to the library and get those. But yeah, this is the first episode of, well, going to college and life with Cosmic. And yeah, hopefully this podcast does well. If not, then maybe there's some information here, maybe there's not. Oh, well, we'll see how this continues to develop. Like I said, I'm just trying something new, and I figured why not share knowledge I know with other people if I can. After all, I mean, every little bit helps. So, you know, I'll see you in the next one.